Hi everyone, this is James from KLO UK. Going to be doing a quick deck profile on a Broly Recurring Nightmare, Red OG Broly from set 7. So, it is a critical leader on the flip side. When you place this card in your leader area, you get to play a Dormant Legend from your deck and activate it. It is a draw one, untap one leader. When this card attacks, you get to draw a card on the flip side, and the main reason I made the deck was the activate battle. It's once per turn, choose one card in your hand, place in the drop area, and choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 10,000 power less and KO it. As I go through the deck, I'll explain why that activate battle is the main reason I actually made the deck, and what cards synergize with it. Dormant Legend is the one copy that I play of the field card itself, and it's basically when you take damage or when you get critted, you get to place the top card of your deck under this card, and then its activate main is if you have 3 more cards under this card, you get to place it in the drop area and search for a red Broly 4 cost from your deck and play it. There's only one target that I like to choose. There is 2, but the main one is the counter reversal Broly. Let's get into the battle cards. We'll start with the red package. I play 3 Intensifying power trunks. This card applies even more early game pressure and also adds cards to your hand by taking it to your life. And unfortunately, because Dormant Legend is only on your opponent's turn, you get to place a card under it. That sucks a little bit because you do, if you in the store game, you do want to play more of these, and it would be great if you also on your turn took a life, but then it'd be a little bit broken. I also play 2 heroic duo of Videls. It is a great negate. I mainly use it as a combo piece. After that, for the arrival costs of the bigger Broly cards that are also in the deck. Other than that, it's just either a charge target, a negate, a 1-drop, you know. I chose the Sideline assist Bulma for super combos. I tend to go for the 4 or less super combos, just because I'm either going to be taking my life with the trunks, or my opponent's going to be attacking quite early on. So these are active quicker, so that's my preferred choice. Also because the leader is a critical on the awakened side and you're playing the trunks, and what we'll see later on is the Gohans. I play 2 copies of Champa. It doesn't really matter which you play, the Champas or the Supreme Kais, it's just I prefer the Champas. To be honest, I don't think I've ever once chosen not to give it double strike with the Supreme Kai, and if you have a brain fart and decide that you forget to declare the double strike, your opponent can just have a right laugh with you, but meh. You also play Son Gohan the Avenger as another negate in the deck. But the great thing about this is when you play it on your opponent's turn, you get to minus your opponent's leader or a battle card by 10,000 power. Again, bit of tech. If your opponent attacks with the leader first and they have a battle card on play, you play this card, you choose that battle card, you minus the 10,000 power on it, and if they proceed to attack with another card, you activate battle with leader, get rid of that card. It's now not a threat. And the main target for Dormant Legend is the counter reversal. This card is brilliant. If it was a 3 cost, it'd be broken, but because it's a 4, it's not too bad. But basically its permanent is during your turn, this card gets 5,000 power and can attack battle cards in active mode. Now, the main reason this card is sick is because once per turn, when your opponent activates a counter, you deal them 1 damage. Now that is any counter, so that involves counter plays, negates, you name it, any of it, they're going to be taking the damage for it. And because of the early game pressure this leader applies, once you have this on deck, on life, on a field, even, they're not going to be wanting to take that extra 1 damage. It's just a really fun card, and that will do it for the red package. For our green package, I play 2 Newfound power Son Gohans. It's basically just to back up the trunks. If you don't open up with more red than green cards, this is the alternative route. You do, because of Denial of Hope, you do want to open up with 2 reds or at least 2 multicolors. You don't want to be charging 2 greens. It's just the deck stalls and bricks if you do that. But it's the same sort of thought process as the trunks, really. I play 4 of the 1-drop Broly searchers. So you play this card, you look at the top 7 cards, you add a green Broly to your hand. Now the only card it doesn't search is the counter reversal, because it is only red, and this only searches for green Brolys. But it searches for every other piece that you need, and once it's on the field, it then becomes a combo piece for a rival. I play as a 2-drop just 1 of the SS Broly Unforeseen Force. There's not many instances where I have to play this card, but against Zamasu, because of the wording of the card, at the end of your turn, you can basically wipe all of their shadow tokens, because the cost is up to 3, so it does actually work by rule. I do also play 2 Legend Unleashed. This is mainly if your opponent isn't attacking you and you're already down to 4 life, and you just don't say, or if you see the Brolys in hand, or if you've milled them, or if they're already under Dormant Legend, you can play this for free by sending Dormant Legend to the drop, as long as you have 3 or more energy, and it just comes out for free, and you can awaken your leader if needs be. It's not a bad card. I just usually use it for a combo piece. I do play 2 Endless Evolution Broly. It's not bad for field removal, especially if your opponent has 1 big card on field and it doesn't have barrier. They have to choose that card. So it's quite good removal, and it also reduces evolve costs, which is only 2 targets in the deck for it, but it's more removal than anything. But if you want to hit your opponent's hand and they have a big card on field with barrier, I play 1 copy of Deathless Warrior Broly. So this is when your opponent has to choose a battle card to KO. If they can't, they drop 2 cards. Because you're hitting them for crit and you're keeping the hand limited, it really hurts them by turn 4. And it's just quite a nice little all-rounder. And again, it's a 0 cost 5k, so I try to keep as many 10k 1 cost combo pieces out of the deck unless really needed. And for the final green card, I play 1 Broly the Supreme Berserker. There hasn't been many times where I've actually played the card. Its evolve cost is quite steep. It's 2 green and 3 of any, but these cards do reduce that to just the 3 cost, and it does have quite a good effect where once per turn you can burst 5 when this card attacks. If you lead a card as Broly, you can choose one of the following, and if your opponent has 3 or less cards in hand, you get to restand the card. And if your opponent has 4 more cards in hand, you get to choose one and send it to the drop, which can be quite useful. You get to see your opponent's hand, which is the main thing. And that'll be it for the green. On to the multicolored cards. It's basically the core of the deck is this card. Like the Beerus, it has the negate energy exhaust if there's already a multicolor card in your energy. It's really a charge target. You don't ever really want to play this unless you see an opportunity where your opponent has one card in hand, you can go for game with it, because it's auto is when this card is played, your opponent drops a card. It can be useful in that sense, but it's more beneficial to use it as a charge target. I play 3 of the Broly Rabbit Barrage. It's a rival for red, green, and 1 red NG. Its permanent is it can't be played unless Dormant Legends on the field, so it's probably not going to come out till turn 3, turn 2 if you're lucky enough, if your opponent goes really aggro. But it's basically when it comes into play, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and give it -10. If you use it on the defensive, it works really well with the leader's activate battle. If it's a 20k cost, that battle card will go if they choose to attack again. And it also has a second auto when your opponent combos with a card, you can ditch a card, and that combo piece goes straight to the drop area. It's autos like Champa's super combos will still go off, but they just won't get the boost, which could make the difference. I play 3 of the 6-drop Brolys, the new one. Another reason why I did build a deck because of this card. The artwork is absolutely stunning. If you look at that, it is beautiful. But mainly it's a rival for a red and green, and it's a red and green cost. You have to tap 2. But when you play this card, you get to choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards. Ignore run barrier, and they get -15k. On the defensive, it's great. On the offensive, it's great. It synergizes even better with the activate battle of the leader. You get to KO with something with 25,000 power. It's just a really good all-round card. It has the same second auto as the 4-drop, but you don't have to pitch a card. You just once per turn. Right, yeah, you don't. I'm not going to let you have that in the combo area, and you get rid of it. It's an awesome card. If it had double strike, it would be so much better, but it doesn't. And for the final multicolor card, I play the secret rare Raditz Vegeta Napa. Its arrival cost is 3 red, 2 green, and when it comes into play, you crit yourself a damage, and your opponent takes 2 damage automatically. Now, the main strategy of the deck is early game pressure, get them down to 2 life, 3 life if possible. Keep the hand size down by playing these cards, making sure you don't take too much damage by using these cards autos, activating battle with leader. And then when you get them down to a place where you have 2 life, they have 2 life, this card is going to win you the game. It's auto, unless the Cobra listed or the new Frost Poison one, but that's not going to happen. That would be a very rare chance if it did. It's just single strike, but it's 40k, and it has the same second auto as the 4 and 6 drop Brolys. Your opponent combos with a battle card event you cost 2 or less, it just goes to the drop area. You don't get the power from it. And that's it for the multis. There's only a handful of extra cards that I do play, but I do play one through the Dark Banisher. I'll only ever play this late game when I have all the pieces on board that I need, because the Brolys that were mentioned before, they can't be played if Dormant Legend isn't in your drop area. So you have to time it right. If you can see your opponent on 2 life, 1 life, or you see the opportunity where you can go for game, for 4 energies, you're going to play this, and they have to deal with a 25k triple attacker. It's probably going to be GG by that time. For extra cards, I do play 4 Afterimage because it synergizes really well with the leader. Again, activate the counter, minus something 10k. You can still go on to combo stages, activate battle. You're going to KO that card if it's a 20k. And the final card I play is 3 Denial of Hope. It's a counter play where if your opponent is playing a card that has 20,000 power or less, it's placed in the drop area instead. That's the majority of the cards that try and finish the game now. The card is amazing. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the deck profile. Please give some feedback. Follow the channel, KLO UK. And thank you. Cheers.